today we're going to teach y'all how to set up the boats. We also color coordinated the Yakos to go with each boat, so the Pegasus is white, and how the tape goes, right? 2 stripes is the front, 1 is the back, even though like you can clearly see this is the back because it's weirdly shaped and goes in. Just a little make it a little easier while you guys are sifting through the shed. Pegasus. That's the seat as well. The seat's also marked with white tape to match with the Pegasus is white. So first, see these pins, right? You want to just line it up like this, where it presses in, flush against the boat, and then slightly press while you're pushing in, and that'll get it to go nice and smooth. Don't try to like press it in all the way and then jam it in, because it might not pop back up because these pins are old and you might get it stuck. You don't need a stick to fix it. Yeah, so once you get that one in, you go in the back. This is just how I prefer to do it. I like to put both Yakos in and then put it into the ama. But general rule of thumb, as you're setting it up, right? Once again, sit it flush to the boat pin, so you press in, not too hard, not all the way. Slide it in, quick, locks in. And now I like to start front to back, and then when I'm taking it apart, I go back to front. This is how you know this is the right end that faces out, because it has these little 3 dots and it's not open like the one at the end. And also, this is closer to the boat as well. Note that. Okay, there we go. Cool. And then this one just goes straight in. Don't try to force it in. It should just kind of go in like that. And then this little pin flush as well. Slight press, and then just there you go. And then seat velcroed in. Yeah, that's the Pegasus. Now to disassemble, what I like to do, I like to take it out from the boat first, starting from the back. There you go. And then it makes the rest of it come out a lot easier. But that's just one way to do it. That's how I do it. Whatever works for you better. But I find this is the easiest. And then you yeah, there you go. Well, you start from the back, from the boat, but then once it's out, you can start from the Akko front, and it'll come out easier. Pegasus done. Hurricane. Okay, Hurricane, this is SDDBT's boat. So when you're reserving it, remember, ask your coaches, go put it on our calendar, and then the SDDBT calendar. Hurricane is white and yellow. It even says Hurricane, right? So, unlike the Pegasus and the rest of the boats, right? You can put these Yakos wherever you want, front or back, doesn't matter. So there's just white and yellow. There's not doubled up for the front and then one for the back. So we're just gonna put them in. Same thing applies with this boat too. I have it sit flush, press, and in. We're at the front. Sit flush, press in. There you go. So you don't want to like just jab it in, because you see this freaking mark. That's from people like stabbing it in. So just gently ease it in. You don't have to stab it. And how you know, this is the Hurricane ama. It is like submarine yellow, reminds me of Nemo. And then the holes are going to be facing out. So if you're facing like this, the holes are facing out because the pin is facing this way, right? Doesn't make sense to have the holes facing in when the pin is on the other side. Just remember that. All right. So starting from here, same thing, sit flush. So do one at a time so you can get that angle in. There we go. Sometimes you won't hear the click, so just give it a slight tug to make sure it's in. And then yeah, so also rule of thumb, right? If you want to load it, rig it heavier, go to the 2nd or 3rd little notches. That'll be more stable. But try to match what you do here and there. Try to match those up. That's the Hurricane. 2-man, big yellow, heavy as heck. OC2, this is also STDBT's boat. Remember, calendar, check it out on both. It is yellow and red, right? McDonald's. Ketchup and mustard type shit, you know. 2 in the front, 1 in the back. Also, a clear distinction for the 2-man. There's this diagonal pin that matches with this diagonal hole in the ama. And you know this is the 2-man ama because it says outrigger connection and it's a white ama. It looks similar to the Pegasus, so just remember that sticker. And instead of the Pegasus having like a pin in the back, the two-man has these tensions that you'll screw in for the back. So like the other boats, you'll put it in. And see, this is also a tension up here, so put it all the way in. Then you'll tighten it after you put it to the Yama. So we'll get this in. Now remember, flush to the boat or flush to the part. Nice and smooth, and it'll click. There we go, click. And then we'll put in the back all the way in. We'll come up. Low key, just straddle it, squeeze it like that, and then put it in. But yeah, make sure it's pushed all the way in because it'll be a little bit tougher if you don't, and then you'll start tightening once everything is in. Don't tighten before because you have to play around with the angles a bit. You know, tighten, tighten, tighten. In this one as well. Yellow and red for the two-man. It'll be on the Yakos and the seats. Fusion is blue, so the tape is blue. Same for the seat, it is blue. It even says SDBT, Fusion. 2 on the front, 1 in the back. This is also tension in the front, so you'll put it all the way in first. Connect it to the Yama. This one's a little weird too, it's at an angle, so you have to bring it up a little bit. Flush to the boat, press in. There we go, it's in. Then we'll go in the back. And remember, make sure these 2 tension ones, like you pushed all the way in, flushed as far as they can go, and then you can start tightening. That is the Fusion. These are most of the boats you will be using as you're OCing. New Pegasus, yay. Even though it says front and back, and it's a wonky shape. This one, remember, 2 in the front, 1 in the back, but this is red, blue, red, and then just red and blue. That's the back one. And then obviously the colors for the Pegasus, this one is red and blue. The seat also has red and blue. Okay, so like the other Pegasus, this little like solid part, right, that's gonna be facing out this way. So start in, over here, flush, push it in gently, put in the front first, flush, and in. Okay, then the back, flush, sits in, sit, click. Other Pegasus. Alright, so picking up the OC, right? If you're a back Yako, right? You're gonna have a paddle with you. You just stack it up. It's back right here, right? Line it up with the Yako, and then you're gonna lift from underneath the boat. You're gonna roll it up onto your shoulder. Each one kind of has their balance point. You're gonna have to try to find around and play around with it. You can't do this. Just have a buddy help you. And another thing, when you're in the water, ready to like place it in the water as you're heading out, right? You're gonna go parallel to shore like I am right now, right? You're gonna lean the nose back in the water first, flip it over, and gently set it down, right? So you're not putting it down on the sand, scraping it up on the bottom. That's where we get a lot of dings and scratches, and eventually you won't become watertight anymore, and that's not good. And then as you're heading out, backing up, this is where we get a lot of like cable breakages, because people will back up, and then we don't have fancy rudders and cables and pedals like the newer boats do that auto adjust as you go back. That'll keep it straight, and they're a lot stronger. These are a lot older boats and stuff, right? So it'll lock the rudder to one way because you're backing up and you're being pushed by either the water or just the force of the direction, right? And then if you try to paddle forward, it's going to be really hard on the pedals, and people will try to like step on the pedal as they're still backing up, and that really creates a lot of tension on one of the pedals that are going back, and that's how the cable snaps. So as you're backing up, right, you're out here, you're backing up, so you're already backing up with your pedal to one direction so you can actually move somewhere. And then before you depress a pedal, right, you're gonna take some strokes forward, even out the pressure, and then see how then I press the right pedal to go forward. That's what you're gonna do. I'll do it again. I'm gonna go back to shore. And then also as you're going back to shore, right, it's pretty shallow enough, right, to stop yourself, put your feet in the water, catch yourself on the ground, the sand, so you don't like let it run to shore. So we're gonna back up again. So you want to back out to the right, right? We're going to press the left pedal, then we're going to start back paddling. That's pretty good. All right, so now we're going to go right, just straighten back out along shore, right? Take a few strokes, take one, let the pressure even out, and then we press the right pedal. And now we're going to where we want to go without messing up the pedals. Then another thing too, right? Don't drive too much from the top parts of your feet, the balls of your feet. Drive through the heels for leg drive, like this. Through your heels, not your balls of your feet, because it'll put unnecessary tension on these cables up here, and that's how it also snaps, right? So you're doing your leg drive, you're gonna be going through the heels of your feet rather than the balls of your feet. Alrighty, now we will fix some various issues on some boats. So the first one, Pegasus. So some common breakages or failures you'll see is either it breaks up here on the pedal, like this area, or it'll break back here, which this Pegasus did, right? This little hook around here just frayed off, so there's no connection anymore. So I had to do, fortunately, I bought these nice wire clippers. So come up here, I have to like disconnect this one, so click it out, don't litter. Then you're gonna we're gonna feed it from the back since there's this hook. There we go. And then have this wire from Home Depot. It's galvanized steel, 1/16 diameter. We're just gonna feed this through over here. It should just go right through. If it doesn't, that means there's a blockage or something. Some WD-40 will also help with this. Keep going. I bought about 44 feet, so two strands of 22. Yeah, that'll usually do about right. All right, then once it goes through the back over here, yeah, we just pull it through. That, yep. Let's see up here, there's this. We'll feed it through up here. Just like that. I'll come and make a little loop like that, and then we have here a steel JB weld stick. It's epoxy. It'll take some time to set, but we're gonna use like some tape as like a cast. You can use one of these clips as well, but might not be thin enough to get it around. Yeah, so we'll just stick with this. These are also 1/16 stop sets. We're gonna use this little part. Yeah, just like that. Come down here. I'm gonna put this in. That. I mean, you should do both, but you don't have to. Probably should. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do both ends. Come up to this one, then we'll hook it through. Like that. So like that. Feed it through the other end. It might get frayed sometimes, so you can use the clippers to cut off the bad end. It'll be like this, right? And then we'll get some tape. Sorry. Get that ready, and then we'll use this as well. Grab a popsicle stick. So this, you'll have to squeeze some out. It'll squeeze out both, and then you can reseal it and you'll mix it together. You're gonna dabble it on around the stopper, and then you'll tape it up so you don't have to wait for it to set. You just tape it up and put it back on the racks. So we're gonna squeeze some out. You don't need too much, a little bit. You know, see like this one, use like rubber shrink wrap. You could also do that, but tape will be fine. So we can mix it up until it gets about gray, like this consistency. You'll see a noticeable color difference. It's white and black, so it'll make gray. And then using this stick, let's see, make sure the rudder is straight too. So this should also be in line up here and back down here. So we'll get that and dabble it on around, making sure it touches the wire, especially. Try to get some underneath as well. There we go. Get some tape. Underneath. Just kind of wrap it around. Yeah, that's the front or the back. And we'll go to the front. Same thing up here. We use this other stopper. So this is the other running end of our steel wire. So you're gonna give yourself some leeway up here. You don't want too much, but you just want a little bit. You're gonna give it a cut. Give yourself a little more than you think, just in case you mess up. So maybe about like that much. Past the pedal. Clean cut. Then you can use this for another boat that'll eventually break. And then up here, I'm gonna feed it through this little hole below this bungee. That. There we go. Then making sure, coming back here, the rudder is straight. Right here, look at the top and look at the bottom. Make sure it's straight before you start doing anything up here again. We're gonna do same thing. Make sure also the pedals are aligned as well as best as possible. I get all this epoxy on. On the part that's touching the wire, best you can. Make sure the pedals are still lined up, and then we're gonna tape it up again. Doesn't have to be nice. It's gonna clump it up. That's straight. Yeah. Rudder straight, back straight. Pedals aligned. That's straight? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, see, they're like shitty tape job, but it'll do. And it should set underneath as well. We're just gonna tape off the top end more so we don't stab ourselves. But yeah. It'll do. And we'll give it a light test. This is pressed left. you hold the left up here? Yeah. So it's the press the left, good angle, and then press the right. Right. Yeah. Is that all the way? Yeah. There we go. Yay. Okay. Pegasus fixed. Okay, so to fix cracks and dents on boats, right? So when you're looking for stuff like, it could either be cosmetic or like actual damages that will get water into the boat. But a lot of these are just cosmetic. But this one over here might have some water going in. So what you're gonna do, there's gel marine coat. I should have gotten white, but gel is fine. This just shows the damages still. If you want to actually hide them, get white, but this will do for now. So you're gonna do 12 drops per ounce of, so 12 drops of the activator per 1 ounce of the actual coat. So mix it up, get that good consistency, and then just use sponge brushes preferably, but cheaper and also just as effective is popsicle sticks. So you're just gonna layer it on. It's kind of like a hard resin, like water resistant resin, because it's made for like actual like other boats. So this is good stuff. It comes in a gallon or quart sizes, so you probably don't need that much, but it's just good to have on hand. And then you could also get like other JB Weld sticks and stuff, but you found that doesn't hold as good and it doesn't apply as well. For this, similar to the other epoxy, you want to give it like 24 to 48 hours to set before you actually use it. So make sure you give it the proper time.
Try to do like an even coat and don't spill like I just did.
Yeah, you could do multiple coats. Give it about like 10-15 minutes for it to harden a little bit, and you could go over again with another coat. That's why kind of speed running, you should give it more time, but it'll do. And yeah, that's it. Seat repairs, typically with Velcro, 3M 74 adhesive spray, good for foam. Give it a shake. This is for Velcro to seat. And then this goop marine adhesive is for Velcro to boat. So spray is Velcro to seat. This is Velcro to boat. So we're just gonna spray some on here. Just get that on. That. Here. I'm just gonna let that sit and then it should be good. So that's for that. Then this goop, it's just for, like I said, the Velcro, putting it onto the boat. Do this stuff in well ventilated areas, don't get on your hands, all that good stuff. All right, just gonna get a line going down here, like arts and crafts in elementary school, you know. Spread it out, get your strip, lay it down. That, press it in. And for this and all the other like epoxy stuff, like we did for the cables, make sure you properly give it time, right? So it can cure. So it says 24, I would say give it like 48 just to be safe. Velcro to boat, this stuff.